Hi guys, welcome to another session of Intimate on Afro 387. Today we want to talk about being in your late 20s and being single. And I have with me a very good friend. She's annoying, yes, but she's my good friend. So she's here with me. Her name is Marianne. Welcome,
Hello.
Marianne.
Hello, guys.
Hi, how you doing today?
Doing great. Yourself?
I'm good. It's hot out here, but I'm good.
Yeah, the weather seems to be different nowadays.
Yeah. So, I'll start by defining what I mean by singleness. It doesn't mean you're not dating or you're not in a relationship. It just means you're not married. Because when you're filling out an application form, it's married, single, divorced,
Yeah.
etc. So if you're not married, you're single. If you're not single, you're married or divorced. So that's the single we are talking about today.
Okay.
So Mary, quick question. Very quick question.
Okay,
How does
Deb.
it feel being in your late 20s and single? That's being in your late 20s and not married.
Well, I would say it's quite liberating sometimes because you are alone. You are not obliged to take care of others, or you're not responsible for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to do more or less whatever that you want.
Yeah.
You're not answerable to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
But on another scale, it could be stressful, pressure from family, sometimes friends, looking at people that you're of the same age with, who are actually married and living their best lives, or it looks like. And also, you could feel that you're a bit late or behind time. If you are someone who might have planned their time and when they had wanted to get married or moved out of the single nature.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, it's got its ups and downs, and for me, I say I do have the advantages and then the disadvantages.
Okay.
So that's how it feels.
Okay. So I guess probably one of the disadvantages will also be if you marry late, then you're going to give birth late.
Definitely, and you wouldn't want to. Looking at the age, the long-term age where people are not really going to their very late 80s and hundreds, if I would say. If you're going to give birth in your late 30s or 40s, how long would you be alive to take care of your children and your grandchildren? So that's also a disadvantage.
Like most guys I talk to, one of the reasons they want to marry early is because by 60 they want their last born to be in university. So that if they kick their buckets, like they know at least I saw you through uni, or at least already in uni, so you'll be complete.
Well, yes, that's quite ideal.
Well, but anyways,
but there's no rush about it as well. The fact that you marry early doesn't mean you would marry right.
Exactly.
And the most important thing is marrying right, because marriage is an institution. It's got its rules and regulations, and also it's got its responsibilities as well as burdens. So you have to know what you are getting into and then how much you can offer as well.
Okay. Are you holding your phone or by your ear?
I'm holding it.
Okay. You could place it by your ear because it's
Sorry?
You could place it by your ear, like in a phone call position.
Okay, that's perfect then.
That's better for the recording purposes.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, so I guess this question is, you've kind of answered it. Are you happy not being married? So to some extent, from what I get from the first question, to some extent you are, and to some extent you are not.
Yeah.
Okay. And then do you think you need a man to complete you?
No, I don't think so. I do believe in being my own person, so that having the right person by me, it's a partnership. So you definitely don't expect to be in house before you meet someone and then to be full.
Exactly. Like,
Yes. You are not supposed to wait for that perfect someone before you say, oh, and now I'm whole.
yes, you don't need a missing piece, or there's
Yes.
no part of you that is missing that you need
Yes.
somebody
No.
to connect
For
that piece.
completion.
Because I feel like, if you are blessed with 2 hands, 2 eyes, 2 feet, I don't think you
Yes,
need
and I.
another leg to make it 3. You are complete.
Yeah. Yes, you are.
You need, like, if you're whole yourself, you know who you are, you know your values, you know exactly what you want.
Definitely.
You open the door for someone who is also at that level where they know what they want. They are tired of the games and the lies. They are whole themselves. So when 2 whole people come together, it's a holy matrimony.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
So you don't need a man to complete you, ladies, my single ladies out there. Just work on yourself.
Very necessary.
Yep. So is marriage a priority for you?
I would say yes. It's an institution I believe in. I honor it. And so just as going to school was a priority, I believe in marriage, and it is a priority to me. I don't know about the others because I think it is important. And God wouldn't have instituted this if it wasn't to him. And so yes, it is a priority to me.
Sure. I guess for me, it's not out of the question. If it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, I mean,
you live your life.
Yes, I'll still go after the things I love and want.
Definitely. Definitely.
If it happens, great. If it doesn't, also
great.
Yeah. So what are the perks of being single at this age?
Well, as I said, it's still the advantages. Yeah, so you are free to do whatever you want. You are your own person, and you are responsible for only yourself. So yeah, I think these are what I would. Amongst others, well, I think you would want to come in here if you have something else you would.
Yeah, sure, certainly. Because I feel like if I had married in my early 20s, I mean, I was not. Yeah, I was matured, but not this.
You're not there.
And there are a lot of things I don't think I understood then. And even in finding a partner, like at this stage, I know what it means to be equally yoked. When the Bible says you have to be equally yoked. First, I just thought, the person has to be a Christian, like basically the same faith. But then even in faith, I find that there are levels
of faith.
Yes. I mean, some believers that follow the doctrine of tithing, others give an excuse for why they shouldn't be tithing.
They are not tithing.
That is exactly. And for me, like, if I'm a tither and you're not a tither, like,
you're unequally yoked.
Exactly. Basically. So that's the perks for me. Like, I've come to understand a whole lot of things. I understand that there's more to marriage than just living with a person and giving birth.
Yeah.
It's way more than that. Way more than that. And it's more
heavier.
Exactly. So at this point, I understand who I am. I've found my purpose. So anybody that comes that's purpose or agenda in life is going to conflict with mine can't be my partner. So that's the perks for me. Like, having to wait this long, I've come to this realization, and I think it's a really great advantage for me. So I would have worried myself or somebody's son if I got married earlier. But not to say that if anybody got married in their early 20s, they made a mistake or they rushed into it. No. Other people do get married early and it's worth their while. I mean, do
Mm-hmm.
you? We all can't do the same thing or be the
Of
same, but
course. Of course.
it's like people keep comparing themselves, and my mates are getting married and they had this wedding and they are waiting for a man. No. If you marry early, great. If you don't, equally great. Just keep working on yourself
Yeah.
and just be a nice human. Work on yourself and be a nice human being, and
Very
don't rush
necessary.
into relationships just because of material and physical reasons. Like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
you can take care of me, so yeah, that it's not enough reason to marry
True.
somebody.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And funny enough, whilst I was
Mm-hmm.
preparing for this topic, I stumbled on a post from Uncle Ebo Whyte, which like
Okay.
basically summarizes this whole
The whole point.
exactly. So we are going to go through his 10 points. Basically, the heading is advice to my single daughters. Yes, Uncle Ebo, we are your daughters. So, point number 1: you must learn to live first before you marry. Love yourself so you can receive love and grow to become the better version of you. Mary, do you have anything to add to that?
I do believe, I do agree, sorry, with Uncle Ebo entirely. Because you definitely have to be a better version of yourself. More
Right?
understanding, more loving, more patient, more giving. You have to know that in every situation, even if not marriage, and a point is coming where you have to work with someone or you have to work with someone. Say it's a team. You have a teamwork that you are doing, and then it's about human interaction. Where you don't understand someone better, you end up flaring up or blowing things out of proportion when it could have been handled easily. So yes, he is correct in this.
Yes. And to add to that, love yourself first before marrying. Like, girls these days seek so much validation from men. I mean, love yourself before anybody will love you. See yourself for who you are before someone will see you for who you really are.
Definitely.
Like, a man coming to show you all that love and you don't love yourself, like, it's not enough. At some point, you become unattractive to him because you
Yes.
don't even love yourself.
You're too dependent. And
Exactly.
he's still crowded by the way you always have to depend on him. Men don't like that. They like women who know their stuff, who are confident in their stuff, and who can walk their talk.
Exactly. Like, he just said it all, basically. Because some people think, oh, when I marry, I'll do this. Like, when you marry, you are not going to have time.
Yes. So do that before you marry.
Yes, like, live your dream, explore, go on adventures, do that for yourself.
Yeah.
Because when you are married, you won't have the luxury of time. You are not just for yourself anymore.
Yeah, you have responsibilities.
Your husband, in-laws, kids come in. You're not going to have that life you think you're going to have. Probably when your kids are of age, which is like 20 years. And then a lot of things would have changed.
Yeah.
And certain things would have faded out. So live your life and love yourself, ladies.
The best of your life.
Right. YOLO. You only live once.
Definitely.
So, point number 2. Remember that you are complete without a man. I think we said this. You have to be whole. You are complete. You can see without a man. You can walk without a man. You can eat without a man. So, you are not waiting for a man to come do anything.
You can actually have a vision as well without a man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. If he comes and he fits in, great.
Perfectly.
You have a helper, but you can chase your dreams.
Yeah.
Go after. So, point number 3, stop looking for the right person and be the right person. Like, this is so true. People go about and I want the right person. I want this. Like, you want a man with 6 packs. Okay, but you have a little pot belly in front of you. How do you think a man with 6 packs will come for? Like, you want somebody who works out. But my girl, you don't work out yourself. You want someone who is prayerful, but you pray 5 minutes.
You barely even pray. How are you going to support him to pray?
I mean, you have to be exactly who you want.
Mm-hmm.
Because then if you are below the standards of the person you want, when that person comes along, you're going to either drag the person down, or the person is going to constantly want you to catch up with them.
And that was going
So
to be very, very stressful.
Exactly. So one person will have to give in at some point.
Yeah.
So then it becomes some sort of competition. And you
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't want that. That's why you have to be whole yourself. Be exactly who you want. So when you get who you want, you fit in. You fit right in. Like, it becomes a smooth process.
And someone would ask this question, would you want to marry yourself? So you have to be the version that you would want the person coming in to want, so that you would also get the version that he's going to be in, so that you would also want. So you have to be someone that you would want to marry. If not, then you are not worthy.
Exactly. So like, I'm so looking forward to the male version of me. Exactly like me. Because it make a whole lot of things easier.
Yeah.
And the fourth point, take time to understand men. Well, like they say, women are complicated and they are confused and they don't know what they want. But I think to some extent we're meant to, because I saw a post like, men don't want to be alone, but they want to be by themselves. Like, if that's not confusing, then I don't know what is.
Then nothing would be.
To be honest, men don't like being alone. They always need a female around them all the time. But when you are there, they just want you to be seated by them with your lips shut, and probably they're watching a ball game, or like actually playing a game.
So they crave for silent company.
Exactly.
How interesting.
Men don't really like to be told what to do, but they would want you to like kind of suggest it. So yes, like, you have to understand men. Take time to. Men are not all the same, and they are not all that straightforward. Like, they are complicated too.
Yeah, they are. They really are complicated.
Yeah. And the fifth point, learn to cope with loneliness. Marriage doesn't cure loneliness, just as it doesn't cure lust. Learn to cope with loneliness. What is loneliness?
Loneliness.
Yes, loneliness. Being alone, or feeling alone, all by yourself.
Well, I think it's a feeling that you have no one, and it could come out of boredom, or when you're depressed. So loneliness is just a state. I believe it's a state where you could be in your mind, because you could be with people, but you are still lonely. Yeah, that's loneliness.
Yeah. But for me, like, I live alone. My relatives or family members are not really close. So I've come to enjoy being alone. Like, I can be alone at home all day, all week, and I'll still be happy. I don't crave for people being around me. I don't need anybody to entertain me. So long as I have television and electricity, I'm good. I can make myself laugh. Yes, so I know how to cope with loneliness. But if you are not able to cope with loneliness at this point, and probably you get tied down and your husband has to travel for a trip,
you are going to go out of your mind. Because definitely, even if he doesn't go for a trip, he'll go somewhere. A time will come where one spouse may not be with the other. And so you should learn how to cope being alone. Not loneliness, but being alone.
Yes, and being happy. Being happy when you're alone.
Yeah.
6, be realistic in your expectations. Preach. Because ladies create their own men in their head.
And when
I'm guilty of this. Like, I keep saying I want a tall guy, and I get a tall guy. I'm like, nope, not tall enough. So I guess I'm so guilty of this. Like,
wow,
yeah, but we need to be realistic.
definitely.
We need to be realistic.
Because it's not always about how tall the person is going to be, but you might get some features that fit exactly with what you've asked God for or what you are expecting of your man. So you might not get it 100%, but you will get it 80%. And you might end up chasing the 20 and leaving out the 80 because you were so focused on the 20 part, which wasn't with that particular person. So, yes, we human beings are not 100%, and so we might not meet your vision or your desires 100%. You have to know that you have to create a realistic person in your mind, so that when you're going out for that person, you know that this is what I'm expecting. But hey, if I don't even get them, then I get it this way. It's fine. Yeah.
Totally true. Now, this 7th point, I don't understand. Maybe I have to ask Uncle Ebo to explain, but let me read it out. Probably you could understand.
Okay.
Be selfish in choosing a life partner so you can be selfless in marriage.
Well, I think for me, how I understand that by is, it has to do with saying, you say you want someone who is attractive. You find someone who isn't so attractive. He could be a little bit of your spec. And then you have people saying, oh, this person is such a wonderful person. This person is so homely. This person is someone you can settle with. You have a lot of people trying to let you see the positive side, but you try and then you still feel there's something offish. Now, if you just settle simply because of not with your own personal conviction, but with the conviction of others, you are not being selfish. You've allowed others intrude on your decision, and so a time may come that something could happen, and then you end up saying, "Oh, this person, I selected him based on this, and then I don't feel this," and then you start to doubt whether this is the person you want to be with for the whole of your lifetime. So when you're selfish, when you feel that you picked this person because, yes, I wanted this person and I went in for the person, you're convinced, it's your personal conviction you have. And so no matter what you feel, you have to still fight for it. And you hold on to that relationship.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. Thanks so much.
You're
a genius.
I know, right?
So the 8th point, understand that people will give you what they know you will take.
That's true. You are treated how how do I put it? People will treat you the way
people give you what you take.
So
and what you allow.
You allow, that is the word. What you allow is how people will treat you. So if you are not comfortable with something, you voice it out and then you let the party know. Because if you don't, the party might feel that is how you are and you're okay with it. A time might come and
you don't mince. You don't have to mince words.
Definitely.
Your yes should be your yes, and it should be all the time.
You should enforce it. You should be sure about it.
Yes.
You should make sure that is being complied with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 9th point. Oh, you're almost done. Learn to communicate better. So important. Important. People don't understand that relationship is just like 70% communication.
Yeah.
70% communication. You need to talk, but not just talk. Know how to talk. Know when to talk. Know what to say.
Yeah.
How to say it. Sometimes it's not even what you say, it's how you say it, the tone behind it. So communication is so very important.
Very, very.
I think it should even be number 1.
Well, yes, communication is very, very important. How you communicate something, a point to someone, a regard, an advice, it's all very, very important. if not communicated properly, the intent or the motive will not be achieved. And that is cost 90. So, yeah, he is right on that as well.
Finally, the very last point.
Oh, so soon.
Never stop living. Yep, never stop living. Even after you marry, never stop. Find a hobby, find a passion. Don't lose your dreams.
Yeah, you don't shelve them simply because you got engaged or married. The ring isn't your future. Marriage is, and then marriage is work. So your vision is work as well. You have to have some. You would get bored eventually if you say you wouldn't work on something and you just be married. In as much as we would want marriage to be a career, it's not. It's a way of life. It's not. It's a way of life. So.
And at some point, you need escape from marriage, which is your career.
Yeah, definitely. So you should have a vision.
Some people spend all their life dedicated, which is not bad, but there should be a balance.
Sure.
Dedicated to their kids. And for your kids these days, at most, when they get to university, they forget you. Like, they don't look back.
Not at all.
Then you're left in the house alone. You don't know what to do with yourself. You're constantly calling your kids. Why are you coming home? Why are you coming home? What are you doing?
They would even run away
from your life. Do something with your life. Marriage shouldn't be a stumbling block.
Definitely.
To going after your dreams.
Definitely.
Live your dreams. If anything at all, your kids, your husband will admire you for those things, that you're able to be in this position and still do what you love and you're happy. And it's not holding you back.
Yeah.
It's not easy, true, but it's possible.
Of course.
There are people
who've done
make it possible. They make it happen.
And Rome wasn't built in a day. You can start off by little. There's no need to do something huge just one day. It's just little by little and you get there. Yeah.
Totally, Mary. Totally. So, Mary Ann.
Yes, dear.
Mary Ann. Any last words?
Well, yes, I do believe in that singleness is the stage where you find yourself, as we have said, that you find purpose and then you focus on what you want to do. When you identify that purpose, it's easier for you to attract the person that you are going to work with in the long run. So don't be quick in your single stage to get someone or to be married. It would come eventually, and when the time is coming in, then you know this is the time. Of course, you have to embrace it. But whilst you are still single, focus on the necessary and work on it. Be a better version of yourself. And I believe when the time comes, you know that it was worth it and you didn't waste your singleness or your single stage. Yeah.
So true. So true. Just work on yourself and be happy.
Yeah. Regardless.
Be happy.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Mary Ann, thank you so much. I know how busy you are for finding time and making it on time.
Thank you very much, Debbie. I promise I would, and I did.
Thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome, darling. And it's been great.
To do this more.
Definitely. I would always be on standby. So thank you for.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, darling.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, there was some good talk right there. I enjoyed it and I hope you did too. Now, before I sign out, I'd just like to say that God loves you, and that's why He sent His only begotten Son to die for your sins. Now, if you don't know Him or you don't have a relationship with Him, I suggest you get to know Him. There are so many ways you could do that. There are so many channels even on here on YouTube that can assist you. Just get to know Him, baby steps. Know His intention and His will for your life. And when you fall in love with Him in the process, then make the full commitment to Him, and you will never regret it. I'll also like to say a big thank you to Yao for allowing me use his pictures as the background for this session. He's a photographer. You can find links to his social media accounts in the description section. Now don't forget to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe so you never miss any new uploads. Until next time, stay safe. Bye bye.